Now, there's been a spate of scary tech stories recently, from baby monitors spying on strangers, a glitch meaning that phones can be hacked to secretly record people's private conversations, and even killer robot drones being on the increase, to the point that campaigners have warned the future of humanity depends on banning them. So, are you a little bit scared of the way that technology is going? Because you've always been quite a sort of conspiracy theorist. You've spoken of this day well before anybody else did.
Conspiracy theorist, I look at the facts.
OK.
I hate being called a conspiracy theorist, especially when it comes to things like this.
So what about this robot conspiracy then, Carol?
Listen, this is happening, and the problem with it is everything that you say and do now is for sale somewhere, and you're buying into it. Everyone is buying into it. They're buying it because someone says to them, this is a really good idea, and this will free you up from doing this, free you up, free. You're not free anymore. Someone is watching you do everything. You're being tracked, you're being monitored, you're being... all your preferences and everything
what sort of things
are permanently being sold.
In what way? What do you mean?
Well, the thing is, right, this is a long way probably in the future. Maybe not. It depends what's being watched, who's watching. We kind of know that all of our conversations and all of our emails and all of our texts are being monitored somewhere and watched. Now, with these, you know, those boxes you have in your house and you tell them, you give them orders and they tell you to do things, why people aren't scared of those, I've got no idea. People actually pay money for them, set them up in their homes, and it's listening to you all the time.
What are you worried about it hearing, though? This is my... I get it. I get that we all want to... It is like... I agree. It's like George Orwell's 1984. It's scary, but... When I think about it, I think...
We have the thought police now, don't we? We have people who tell you what you can think, can't say, can say. And you might just be one day telling a little bit of an un-PC joke, as we are all guilty of doing sometimes, and they could come round and get you for that. Because people now...
Who is coming, Carol?
Whatever you say, people do get locked up now for language,
yeah,
for
they
what
do
they
get...
say. And this is the problem. Don't say it's not listening to you because it only responds when you say the name. That's rubbish, because it's got to listen to you all the time to be able to hear you say the name.
There's been some scary things, hasn't there? Do you remember where... Because I'm kind of coming around to Carol's way. Do you remember a while back we've talked about this on the show? I know, just this once. And do you remember, I think it was Apple or somebody...
Facebook with the robots.
When the two robots, they had to shut them down because they'd started talking to
In their
each
own
other
language.
in their own language. This is an absolute fact. And actually, Stephen Hawking said, you know, the cleverest man ever, that the emergence of artificial intelligence could possibly be the worst event in the history of our civilization.
See?
So you know what that means?
It is
We're all
scary.
doomed.
But you're letting it happen. This is what I'm saying.
But what is the alternative? So I agree with you. I feel like they have all of our data. They know what we're doing, when we're doing it, and why we're doing it. And I feel exactly as nervous about that as you do, but what's the alternative?
You can
a lot
take
of our
precautions.
hospitals can't go without technology, a lot of our police services, you know, there's lots of things that rely on technology, and we now rely so much on technology. How do you eliminate it from your life?
Well, you cannot have one of them boxes in your house for a start.
I don't have one of them.
And on your phone, you cover up the camera, you cover up the microphone unless you need to use it for your
always has
phone.
his camera
He
phone.
does. The guy who owns Facebook actually covers
a
up his
plaster
camera
on
and
his.
everything. You can have a VPN on all of your devices, which is a thing that stops anyone knowing where you are and what you're doing, because it's dangerous. It's really dangerous.
You turn your Wi-Fi
we are
off every
becoming
night.
not free anymore.
Yeah, I turn my
Wi-Fi
Wi-Fi off. I put my phone on airplane mode every night. I get weird about that. I also get weird about my VPN and location settings and people knowing where I am.
Well, it's like there was that glitch on one of the... FaceTime the other day, where people could FaceTime and then listen.
Yeah.
Carry on listening, even if you hadn't picked up the...
Exactly, yeah. That doesn't surprise me in the slightest.
I absolutely hear everything you're saying, and I do think that you were kind of ahead of the game in terms of, you know, thinking this way. I think when it all first came out, everyone was all very excited.
What's the problem? I don't know what the problem is.
Yeah, that's you know, we did exactly that, and with that face.